天使創造リブート
The next day. If this is how the route is gonna go, I'm gonna like this route. The next day. At long last, it's time for the assembly that will wrap up our first semester.
なんかいろいろあったけど、平和に夏休みが迎えられてよかったよね。魔王の力が静まっているから、最近はくるみたちに悪影響も出ていないしね。それそれ！いつまたああなっちゃうかって状態だと、お休みを満喫できなかっただろうし。
Listen, Kurumi, you don't need to worry about it, alright? You know, I'm sure you won't have to worry about it, until your route. So, you've got one more route to spare. You've had a big buffer, at least. You know? So, let's just say good luck when it's your time. It's just before homeroom, and I'm currently chatting with Kohibari and Noah, and they're basically talking about you while you're in the same room as them. So, you know, it's a bit weird. I entered the classroom to find Kohibari sitting on my desk, as usual, so Kinoshita and Shiraishi were with us then. Yeah, okay. But then Kohibari asked if we could talk and dragged me and Noah over here. I feel bad for excluding the other two, but we can hardly talk about Diablo when they're around. Seriously, I owe you two a lot.
ごめん。思い出すと恥ずかしくなってくるから、あの特訓の話はやめときたい。
So it's even worse than I thought. I thought I was going to give them the benefit of the doubt and be like, oh, you know, Riku just walked in on Noah and Kurumi talking to each other about the Diablo stuff. No, Kurumi specifically dragged Noah and Riku to like a fucking corner of the room where no one else could hear them and talk about the Diablo stuff. Oh, my bad. I should have realized that.
でも、あの特訓があったおかげで、くるみも平和に夏休みが迎えられるんじゃないかな。それはそうなんだけどね。逆に、あれで一区切りついたから、谷風くんに絡む理由がなくなっちゃったというか。
Like I said, you've got another route of you've got another full route to buffer the issues that might pop up in your route. Yeah, sure.
夏休みに入っても遊ぶ約束とか微妙に振りづらい。せっかく仲良くなったのに。
Did you mention me?
なんでもない。まあ、夏休みどう過ごそうかなって。
Every time I contemplate whether I should increase the volume of a character whenever they're like basically whispering, they always have to hit me with the full yellow bar in the audio mixer. A bit of context. My mic usually sticks around the yellow bar, sometimes goes above it a bit. Those louder moments in Angelic Chaos, they reach the red. Alright? And, well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, oops. I bet you keep busy over summer break, Kohibari. Basically saying that the characters, when they're at their loudest, are louder than when I'm talking. Alright? Basically that.
なーちゃんはどんな感じの予定なの？僕は学院があろうがなかろうが することは変わらない。おそらく、全くもっていつも通りだと思うよ。
Yeah, and I'm sure, just like in Fumika and Orio's route, by the time by the time Kaguya and Riku become close enough that they're basically dating, you know, coincidentally, around that time, Noah's gonna be like, oh, hey, did you know that you don't need me to be around you all the time? In fact, you can just use this feather, right? It connects to me, and you can just have this around you instead of having me around. Whenever you coincidentally start doing stuff with the respective route girl, the route heroine. By that, she means lazing around and enjoying herself. I assume. Her typical day is snacking on chips and cola while reading manga and stuff. It's a fine way to spend summer break, don't get me wrong, but it's made me realize that her life is essentially one long vacation. I mean, she's technically working, even while drinking Coke and eating chippies. You know, the only thing she needs to worry about is if you turn into Diablo, right? As long as you stay human form, she's doing her job.
なんだい?
Oh, just wishing I could be more like you.
そっか。いつも通りにか。
Kohibari gets called away by her friends and Noah heads back to her seat. Now alone, I start killing time on my phone while sparing the occasional glances at my excited classmates.
ねえ、リク。
Uh-oh. What's up? That's when Kaguya comes up to me. I put my phone away and look up. She won't catch me off guard like she did yesterday. Maybe not here, but I highly doubt she'll never catch you off guard anymore. I soon realized that Kaguya is glancing around the classroom, much like I was.
クラスのこの盛り上がりは、しばらく学院に通う必要がなくなるからなのよね。
Much like I was. Basically, yeah.
私としては、登校も授業も楽しかったけど、確かに、一日を自由に使えるのも楽しそうね。
It seems she had already figured out how students operated and just wanted to confirm her theory. Maybe I don't need to be on guard right now. That's the first mistake. You're dropping your guard. That's when Kaguya is gonna attack. So either yesterday was actually special, or I just caught her while she was in a different mood.
夏休み中、あなたは何をして過ごすつもりなの?
Oh, well, probably just lazing around and relaxing. I've always been an indoors person. Not one of those extroverts who spends time every waking moment hanging out with friends. So yes, my answer is a little dull, but I'm not going to lie about it. Like I said, as soon as he dropped his guard, that's when she'll strike. Kaguya simply murmurs to indicate she heard me. Then she starts looking down the ground and thought. Does she want me to ask her to do something over summer break? The more time I spend looking at her, the more convinced I am that I'm correct. It's as if she realizes she was being too pushy yesterday and is now waiting for me to get the hint. But while my mind is worrying...
夏休みの過ごし方.
Kaguya takes out her smartphone and starts searching on the internet without faltering even once. I'm taken aback but before I can fully process it.
あ、かぐやちゃん、ついにスマホ買ったんだ。
Kinoshita's sharp eyes spot that what Kaguya is doing. She immediately races over with the rest of her group. Oh, well, shit.
ええ、実は初めてのスマホなの。
じゃあ今までガラケー？へえ、なんか意外。でも最新のじゃなくてちょっと前のモデルじゃん。渋いね。谷風くんのと。
No, I don't know. Listen, I don't know what you're talking about, Karimi. Clearly, they're different models. All right, hers just has slightly more storage. All right, you know, you don't worry about the small stuff. All right, it's just a coincidence that they're the same model. All right, it was the only model they had at the store. All right, never mind.
とにかくリーンの ID 交換しようぜ。まずはそれっしょ。ね、くるみ。
I don't like why was her face like that when the only thing she was talking about is simply swapping numbers. Yeah, see, Krumi, just be like Kaede. Don't worry about why we have the same model, alright?
ID 交換ね。じゃあ、はい。私の二次元コード。
かぐやちゃん初めてのスマホなのに、もうリーンに慣れてるっぽくない？
ああ、それは、もう経験してるから。
See, this is one of those lines where a look like this is appropriate, because she could have phrased it in any other way to make it not sound like a double entendre, but she does it intentionally while staring right at Riku. Huh? She glances over at me and flashes that mischievous smile. I get what she's implying, obviously. She already swapped numbers with me. But knowing what she means and knowing how to react are two separate matters.
へえ、誰とか聞くのはやぼか。
Listen,
まあそういうことなら早速。かぐやちゃんのアイコンかわいいじゃん。私も
慌てなくても逃げないから大丈夫よ。
Kaguya swaps numbers with the three girls. She doesn't look over at me at all during it. They already got the message. All right, I don't think they need to. I don't think Kaguya needs to keep staring at you until they. Well, no, she kind of did. She already dropped the hints to the three of them. Man, what was that about? Like, seriously, don't worry about it. You're too dense to realize. In any case, the rest of the day is uneventful. The assembly happens, and then we're finally set free. A lot of things have happened since I first transgraded, but for now, at least, things are calm again. I can relax over my summer break and live life the way I used to. Except for the...
天使創造
You
リブー
know,
ト。
except for the part that he can't goon anymore. Summer's in full swing now. It sucks having to come all the way downstairs just to get a drink.
はあ、面倒。部屋に私用の冷蔵庫欲しい。ってお兄。
You're here to refill too.
私、夏休みになってからはご飯とトイレとお風呂以外はゲームしかしてないから。
Well, I've been doing this marathoning manga series. Why are they competing over who's the most... I was gonna say degenerate, but only one of them can goon. Who is the biggest need?
お兄のくせにやるじゃん。
Same to you. I'm impressed. Our bizarre competition ends up in us admitting our admiration for each other, like two fearsome swordsmen in a standoff on the battlefield. Okay, sure. Thank God their mom isn't home. Summer break started only a few days ago, which has given me more than enough time to indulge in my desired degenerate lifestyle. Okay, no, actually, degenerate is the right word. Oh. You can tell that Amane and I are siblings because she's just as degenerate as me. Although now that I think about it, she isn't actually doing anything all too different to normal.
とにかくせっかくの夏休みなんだし、満喫しないと負けだよね。
Agreed. Indulgence glistens sharply in her eyes as we nod in agreement. We're currently running off the high of starting summer break. Give us a little longer to fully relax and we'll be back to normal. It will be back to normal. It always happens. And we both know that, so we're not too worried. Except...
ああ、うん。確かにね。
I head over to the faucet. Meanwhile, Amane grabs an iced tea and bottle of cola from the fridge and heads back to her room. Shortly after, I follow suit. Yeah, except that this summer break, there's a third competitor in the Degenerate Olympics. And she's currently taking gold medal. She's currently first place. And in her room, I find the very definition of a fallen angel. You can tell just how far she's fallen from how she isn't even bothering to put her wings away. Noah's the one enjoying her summer break the most, no doubt about it.
お兄がずっと家にいるせいでこんな打天使に。
I'd like you're one to talk.
まあ読んでるの私の漫画だしね。厚い薄い問わず。
Yeah, it's kind of corrupting her worldview. No, that's the best way to put it. She is getting slowly more and more corrupted with each doujin she reads.
はあ。やっぱり。
She's already it's already bad enough that she thinks in doujin tropes, right? But it's gonna be even worse when she starts getting desensitized to the vanilla stuff. Admittedly, no, it doesn't have anything to do with if I'm not doing anything myself. But surely that's all the more reason for me to keep living this way. All the more reason for me to keep living this way. What could be more important than preserving this angel's peaceful lifestyle? I guess he's not wrong. He's kind of right. I'm going back to my room.
うい、私もゲームに戻る。コーラが切れた。
Why do you look so distraught over that fact?
ほい、ついでに持ってきといたよ。
See, this is why Noah is winning the Degenerate Olympics. Alright? She even has her own fucking servant to give cola to her every time she runs out.
おー、ありがとう、アマネ。パリパリ。
Noah's fallen so far into the depraved lifestyle that she's getting Amane, of all people, to take care of her. Well, that's the other thing, right? Noah could very easily do this in her own room, right? And the best part about it is that it's on the first floor, so you don't even need to go downstairs to get all of the stuff that you need from the fridge. But no, Noah has gone above and beyond to lays around in someone else's room, and it is someone who is willing to give her cola. Alright? Amana isn't even letting Noah do it herself. In any case, I spend the rest of the day in much the same fashion. Before I know it, it's 11 at night. Suspicion. I shut down the visual novel I've been playing all evening. Well, unfortunately, if it was a visual novel I was playing, it'd probably be me recording it all evening. I booted it up in part because I was done with all the manga I wanted to reread. My cock still isn't working in the slightest. We went a full, like... We went a while without him bringing up his erectile dysfunction. The main reason, though, was to see what was happening between my legs. I've been playing the hottest game in my entire collection, but still nothing. I got used to controlling myself, though. All that training, so it didn't even get me in the mood. Nowadays, I can suppress my mana so that I don't abruptly transmigrate. But that alone hasn't been enough to bring my cock back to life. Don't worry, you'll figure out how to bring it back to life. You know, it happens around the same time. It'll happen around the same time as Amane and Noah's round, alright? I know why that's the case. I train to maintain calmness and avoid agitating my mana. As a result, it's harder for me to get excited. It's harder for me to get hard. So maybe I require a different form of training to get my cock erect again. Don't, like I said, it won't require a different form of training, alright? It'll just happen. Why it'll happen, you'll find out. Until now, I've been focused on cutting my mind off from the sensations affecting my body. But if that's not enough to get me hard, then maybe if I didn't cut my mind off completely, if I could stay calm while taking in those sensations. I think I know where he's coming from. I think I know where he's going with this. And now I'm wondering what that would even mean. I don't know anything about this. Maybe I should go and talk to Kaguya again. Wait, what am I thinking? Let's say, hypothetically, I did talk to Kaguya about this. I'd be telling her to trade with me to help me get an erection. Which would basically be the same as asking her to get down and dirty with me, wouldn't it? I'm sure she would be fine with that. She would tease you a whole lot, but you know, that's the part of that's part of the experience. I can't do that. I could never say that. Not to her face. For one thing, it would be awkward. For another, I'd die of embarrassment. On the other hand, that can't go on forever. This can't go on forever. I can't take it much longer. All I want is to be able to get an erection again as soon as possible. What the hell am I supposed to do, though? I'm at a complete loss. Just forget about it. I can't see myself finding an answer to this problem anytime soon. In fact, all that thinking was sending my mind to some very strange places, so I'm going to give up and go to sleep. I'm just about to run away from my problems and dive into bed when... Huh? What's that rattling? Wait, is that my window? I spin around in confusion.
こんばんは。お
Yeah,
邪魔します。
Kaguya jump scare. It's Kaguya. I haven't seen her dressed in her old outfit in ages. And she's got the fox mask on too. She shuts the window behind her.
こんな時間に唐突に。しかも窓から入ってきてごめんなさいね。
I mean, like, you could have called before. Maybe you wouldn't have... you wouldn't have... it wouldn't have been so... out of nowhere that you showed up. What? Never mind. She must have unlocked the window with magic or with a lockpick. She just uses a regular lockpick. She then takes a breath and straightens herself up. This naturally causes her ample breasts to jiggle noticeably. The sight of her cleavage is burned into my mind. Do you need something? It takes all my willpower to look up at her face while I ask the pressing question. There's no hiding how surprised I am, though. Why are you...
そうね。言ったら、予売になるのかしら。
what?
し
ん
あまり大きな声は出さないで。
I don't know what's going on here, but I like where it's going. I don't know why she's here, but I'm liking where it's going. This is like a repeat of the other day. Before I know it, Kagi is right up next to me. Close enough that those large breaths of hers squash right up against me. Her feminine scent once again wafts up to my nose.
こうして忍んできたのは、他でもない。
Uh-huh. She whispers, looking at me through upturned eyes. I'm so shocked I almost lose my footing.
あなたと、したいことがあったから。
To tease him. Because that's what you... Because, like, you know, we're not far enough into this... We're not far enough into a route to actually do anything meaningful, right? Something with me.
ええ。
Her eyes narrow as an elegant smile forms on her lips. Her gaze draws me in, my heart pounding. The only time I've felt anything close to this is when I've spent time with Fumika outside of school. My chest throbs with longing for this older lady friend of mine. It feels like there's nothing I can do to go against it. And yet, something feels wrong. I gulped subconsciously. So, like, what are you actually gonna... What do you actually want him to do? What are you actually gonna do with him? Because, like, we know what you're trying to imply, but that's not what you're actually going to do. Her eyes narrow further when she giggles. Her lips glistening even in the dim light, slowly open.
二人だけで、特訓の続きをしましょう。
I don't even get a chance to gulp this time. Right. She hasn't simply pushed me down to my bed. She's brought her seductive smile so close that I can feel her breath grazing my cheek. Half of her bodacious figure lies atop me, and she glues herself to me. Her ample breaths are both resting on and being squished into me at the same time. And that's not even the end of it. Her dainty fingers gracefully roll up my shirt and begin to tease my nipples. Simultaneously, she gyrates, rubbing not just the softness of her chest, but her whole body up against me. Kaguya.
落ち着いて。あなたがやることは、以前と同じよ。
Okay, I think the biggest twist here is that she's doing exactly what I thought she wasn't going to do. I mean, she isn't going as far as I thought, but you know, she is continuing with the quote-unquote training, which is not what I expected. She whispers, pressing her softness further against me. Well, this is a dream, right? It's one or the other. It's as if she's trying to both console me and arouse me at the same time. She said this was to continue my training, which means I have to focus on keeping myself calm no matter what.
頭が追いついてくれたみたいね。
Yeah, maybe, but...
失われていたあなたのマナは、 もうすっかり回復しているわ。こうしているだけでも強く感じるほどに。
Her sensual figure gyrates in one massive wave against mine. The mere thought of feeling this all over has me on the verge of losing my composure. But I focus as hard as I can, cutting my mind off from these sensations and maintaining a calm demeanor. That's why we're training?
でも、今までのようにただくっつくだけではもうダメ。簡単に前世返りしてしまわないようになるのがひとまずの目標だった。それは達成されたけど、でもあなたの本来の目標、いえ、接眼は。
Kaguya has her leg, specifically her thigh, straddling across my abdomen. She wriggles it, almost as if she's intentionally using it to stroke my crotch. Unfortunately, but not surprisingly, I don't react in the slightest.
男性の尊厳を取り戻すことよね。
So this training is gonna help me get my manhood, get me hot again?
落ち着いて。すぐには無理よ。
Well, I guess Riku should be thankful that Kaguya had the same thought as him at the same time. She squishes her soft frame against me, as if to console me again.
これはいわば第二段階。高ぶりだけではなく、マナ自体を限界まで抑え込めるようにする。私の考えでは、それからが本番。そこまで抑制可能な制御力をあなたが身につけられれば。
Listen, Kaguya. I know that I'm sort of metagaming here, but what I'm going to say is that if you're trying to train him to be able to get it up again without having to transmigrate, there is a very simple way to do it. And it's happened in 4 other girls' routes already, and that is to start dating him. That's the first step, right? And the second step is to get him so horny, I guess, for you that he can't help but not get it up. He can't help but get it up. Yeah. And that's that's much easier than this training, you know? I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but you know, she talks about how difficult the training might be, and I'm here being like, well, we've seen in 4 other characters' routes that he didn't really need that much training to begin with. He didn't really need that much training to get to that second stage.
勃起機能と射精機能のみを解放することもきっと
Possible?
できるようになる道筋が見えてくるはずよ。
We're going through all this effort just to find a path forward. I start getting disappointed, but then I take a moment to think about it. Well, at the moment, I don't have any clue how to make my cock work again. Anything is better than that. At least this will give me hope. Kogi came up with this whole plan just to help me. I was hesitant to even broach the subject with her, but she went ahead and came directly to me.
もちろん危険はあるわ。ノアが聞いたら反対するかもしれない。
Okay, forget Noah being opposed to this. Orie will be 100% opposed to this. Alright, forget likely being opposed to this. There is a certainty for Orie,
でも
with Orie.
これは必要なことだと思うの。だから
Okay. This is one of those times where I kind of...
バックログ画面だ。
How do I do this?
設定画面だ。
Where are you?
音量はこれくらいで大丈夫かしら。
You know, this is her normal speaking voice. But like... Let's bump you up a bit.
音量はこれく
There you go. Surely it'll be better. She twists her head to draw my attention to her mask.
この面をつけてきたのよ。今はあなたには聞いていないけど、それでも周囲に認識を阻害する効果は展開されたまま。つまり、
That Noah, Mane, and my parents will have no idea?
そういうことよ。
Well, how convenient. So you're saying that there is a different... So are we not gonna go down the feather route? Like we have with Orie and Fumiga? Kaguya nods while leaning in toward my ear. Did they do it in Omane's route? It's been so long I kind of forgot. I think so. Right? I'm picturing a scene where before Noah went around to fucking, you know, patrol the area around the house, she gave him a feather. So I think it was in a miner's route too. So yeah, it can happen in a main girl's route, but at least in Kaguya's route, there is a different way to go about Kaguya and Riku being able to do things without having Noah around, which is to have Kaguya break into his room every time they want to do something. And you know what? Never mind. Maybe the feather thing is probably slightly better.
存分にできるわ。
Okay, let me hang on.
存分にできるわ。
Holy shit. That was one of those lines where it was so quiet you'd kind of have to max out literally everything to be able to hear it. And when I say literally everything, I mean her volume, the voice volume, and the master volume.
本当にあなたと私二人だけの秘密の特訓。
I see. I don't like that they're doing this, but I understand that there's that she's whispering so quietly that only Riku can hear it. But like the difference between this voice and her normal speaking voice is so loud that it would be very inconvenient of me to change the volume to increase the volume even more than it already is. That I already have. Something like that. Trembling excitement pours into my ear, then spreads through me. All I'm hoping for is that increasing the volume in DaVinci will be enough to actually make a difference. You know, make it hearable to normal people. If it weren't for my prior training, I would have transmigrated on the spot. But now I can handle it. Yeah, this is nothing.
例えば、こんな。
Wait, hold up. She's no longer just teasing my nipples, but pinching, pulling, and rolling them around.
えいえいえい。
And she's also pressing and rubbing those massive tits into me.
そんなに硬直して、痛 息を詰めて。
If only he was stiff in the one place that was relevant. Oh, I mean, yeah, of course. This is nothing like we've...
ええ。今までのようではもうダメと言ったでしょ？
I might need to intentionally increase this part of the video even more than the rest of it. Alright. You did say that, yes, but it's not just the feeling of a breast squishing and rubbing against me, but the sight of it that stimulates me. The way they flexibly, I know why it was so hard of me to read the word, flexibly change shape, spreading out as they squish against me, the way they jiggle. This isn't fair.
乳首の方は問題なく勃起するのね。なら、もっとするわ。クリクリクリクリ。
And I'm not surprised if there are more scenes like this to come, pun intended. So, you know, I'll probably have to increase the volume with those as well. Wait, playing with my nipples isn't fair either. No girl has ever toyed with me like this, and it's turning me on way too much. Listen. I wish this was me. Never mind. I could feel the lust within beginning to awaken as I watch. Okay, well that doesn't help. Now she's doing more than just teasing him. She's making noises. Kogi is having her way with me. A girl possessing elegance, beauty, and sex appeal in spades. All of her essence seems to be coming together and to form one command.
私で全世界でしちゃえ。
Hang on. I thought the point of this was to make sure he doesn't. This kind of goes against the whole reason why you started training him. All right, she's going a bit too far now. She's even going as far as making noises as a bass sound effect. You know, this is the kind of thing that you would only experience from a hate scene, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was a CG here, but the only reason that they haven't skipped this part is because of how integral it is to the plot of the game, of the route. So they're just kind of they're substituting the CG with the background of his ceiling, which if they were going to use any background, this is kind of one of the worst. They could have just kept with the room background and it would have been great. I don't like that I have to stare at the ceiling while she's doing all this, but I mean, I guess technically Riku is staring at the ceiling too. It's just that there's a Kaguya on top of him while he's doing it, so never mind. I hear the words inside my mind as clearly as she said them herself. That's just how stimulating and how arousing the situation is. More sound effects. I'm not going to say all of them. I grit my teeth to endure it. I'm desperate. If I can't hold out here, then I'll never find a way to get it up again.
一生懸命こらえて真っ赤になってかわいい。
Look, I know that when she said she's gonna make him transmigrate, she said it in a way that would make him not want to. What do I mean by that? She said it to tease him, right? So that he would want to transmigrate even less. But like at this stage, I don't think it's teasing. Right? I don't think she's teasing about wanting him to transmigrate. What's with that spellbound look she's giving me? How could one woman be so seductive? She makes the breath catch in my throat for several seconds. Honestly, the look she's giving me is the most arousing thing of all. Yet I can't look away.
私の愛部と体。あなたにとっては、そんなにたまらないのね。
I mean, it's kind of hard not to.
嬉しい。改めて、全身熱くなってしまいそうなくらいに。嬉しい。いくら自分では体つきに自信があっても、あなたに興奮してもらえなきゃ、何も意味はないもの。
That sexy face and those sweet whispers are not fair in the slightest.
もっと味わって。そのために来たのよ。私。
I mean, I know whenever I'm talking as Riku or thinking as Riku, I'm making my voice extra breathy. I don't know how it'll sound, right? I hope it isn't as bad as I'm thinking.
あなたにこうしたくて、あなたにもっと興奮してほしくて。
Because listen, I'm not gonna stop, right? If this is what Riku might sound like while he's saying things or thinking of things, right? I'm gonna keep doing it. Whispers are so immensely erotic, enough so that I think she must be determined to make me transmigrate. She literally said she would make you transmigrate. Okay. Like I said, she might have said it to tease you, but at this point, it's not. I don't think it's, you know, I don't think she's saying it to tease you anymore. I don't think it's a joke anymore. But, you know, when Riku says something like this, I'm like, brother, she said that. She already said that. Never mind. The odds are against me, but still I desperately endure. If I were to transgrade, not even the obstructive powers of her fox mask would save us. No one would sense Diablo's mana and come rushing in. If that happened...
私なら相手をしてあげられるから。
I'm sure you are. The irresistible moment I'm spending with Kaguya would come to a premature end. Thanks for the double entendre. I may not have an erection, but trying to endure this arousal is still painfully harsh.
これからもこうさせて。
Kaguya. Nothing could make a man happier than to have a girl like Kaguya coming onto them. That goes double for a virgin like me. This is bliss. This is bliss. I never want this to end, but...
お願い。
She's going a bit too far, alright? I mean, she already crossed the line ages ago, but I mean, this is going even further than that. I'm not doing that. You get one. I'm quickly approaching my limit here. Everything about Kaguya is too stimulating for me. The feel of her body, her heat, her scent, the look she's giving me, her whispers, her caress, all of it. Shit, I'm gonna transmigrate. I can't take it any longer. Right before the burning heat turns into a full-on blaze, I clutch my eyes shut. And then... thank God. Saved by the vibrating phone. Never mind. I was gonna make a vibrating joke, but I hear a ringtone and something vibrate. For some reason, Kaguya's chest has started to shake. Well, I don't think her outfit has pockets. So, you know, why not use nature's pocket? A female, the female nature's pocket. She noticed too, and immediately jumps back from me. Huh? And the flames inside me begin to die down in disappointment. He literally just got edged. He was about to release, alright? He was about to transmigrate, and then he gets blue balls by Aurier. Still in a daze. I set myself up and well, I was wondering what I would have to use as the thumbnail. I guess I don't need to worry anymore. Boing. Brother. You don't need to keep bouncing, alright? The phone's already pulled out. They're still moving, by the way. What? She had her phone in there of all places? Like I said, I don't think her outfit has pockets. So, where else would you put it? I had no idea. I couldn't tell. Even when she had them all smushed up against me. Stop moving. Actually, with jugs that enormous, it would probably be easy to store a cell phone. She's got she's got even more than a cell phone in there. You just don't even know. You don't even know. If it weren't easy, then I wouldn't have just witnessed what I did. Those puppies sure are impressive. In any case, it sounds like she's on the phone with Aurier. Yeah, no shit. Which means she must have bought a phone. She must have bought a phone too. If the princess has one, then I must too. Is probably how it played out. Either that or Kaguya forced her to buy one. I'm sure he would have loved being as stiff as a board in the one place that matters, but unfortunately she's talking about his entire body, excluding the one part where... Never mind. Huh? Out of all of the people she could brag about this to, I feel like Ori is one of the worst. Not for Kaguya's sake, but for Riku's sake. Riku, let's just say, if you're ever alone with Aurier, say, good luck. That's all I'm gonna say. That.
そうしたら、リクはもう顔を真っ赤にしてこらえて、可愛かったわ。たまらなく。
I don't. Sorry, Kaguya. Why is she giving a full report? And why does she sound so happy about it? Why does she have hearts in her eyes?
何を嬉しそうに報告しているんですか、姫様は！
Well, Ori and Riku are saying the same things. Ori shouts so loudly that I can hear it. The phone isn't even on speaker mode. If I was able to pick up the problem, it's no wonder Ori did as well. Which means it's about time for one of her raging lectures. Just be glad that the raging lecture isn't towards you. Hopefully.
はしたない。ありえません。ご自分を何者とお考えなんですか？特訓ならばいざ知らず、夜に忍んでいってそのようなことを。
Listen, Aurier. It's fine. Alright? He was awake, so it was between two consenting adults. So let's go with that. the game said they're 18. They're 18.
信じて送り出した姫君がそんなみだらなことをしていたと聞かされた従者の身にもなってください。わかったわよ。わかったけど、声が大きすぎよ、オリエ。
Look, at least Kaguya was being honest about what she was doing. She even gave a full detailed report, and her tits are still jiggling around like there's a phone in them, but there isn't.
後で聞くから、いい加減に鳴りやみなさい。いい？それじゃあ、切るわよ。
With an exasperated sigh, Kaguya cuts the call. Are you gonna be okay?
大丈夫よ。いつものことだもの。
No, I'm most certain this does not always happen. Just as I have that thought. Okay. Though I'm not as shocked as when she whipped it out, I'm still shocked enough. Obviously, she has to put her phone back where it came from, but this is still a feast for the eyes.
入れる時の方がなんだか難しいのよね。
Kaguya, I know you're doing this on purpose. You can't fool me, alright? She makes several attempts to push her phone back into her cleavage, each one making her breasts softly jiggle and contort. And I'm just staring at her, wide-eyed. Why is she so sexy? Why are her boobs so sexy? Don't look at me like that. Oh, we made eye contact. But she doesn't get angry or embarrassed about it. Riku, level with me here. Did you seriously think she would get angry or embarrassed about you watching her put her phone back in her cleavage after the shit she did to you? You know, just think about it again. Yeah, maybe you'll realize how dumb it would be to think that she would get embarrassed over this. Now she's definitely doing it on purpose. What? She's now gleefully plunging her phone in and out of her cleavage. She's definitely doing this to show off to me, right? What other reason could there be? Unfortunately, my screams remain inside my head. My bag barely picked up on that one. Unfortunately, I end up gulping while still staring as hard as I possibly can. This time, I really don't think you can blame me. The reason for that is because Kaguya's phone is the exact same model and color as mine. They're the spitting image of one another. It's like I'm plunging my phone into her cleavage, and that's getting me all horny. Me plunging right into Kaguya's ample cleavage. Oh, her phone suddenly disappears into the valley of her boobs, leaving me to whimper in disappointment. You know, me too, brother.
本当にもう
Me too, but listen. There is another thing that I wish was in between her tits. But I shall not disclose it. But you know what I mean. Kaguya smiles, enjoying every moment. I suddenly snap back to my senses and straighten my posture.
それじゃあ帰るわ。おやすみなさい。また来るわね。
I'm sure you will. But then the next time around is gonna be it's gonna be a lot harder for her to, well, maybe not. I was gonna say it'll be a lot harder for her to explain to Aurier what she's gonna be doing when she goes out, but maybe she'll be honest with Orie this time and just say she's gonna go out to try to get Riku hard. I don't know how that will go. I don't know how that will bode, right? With Orie, but you know, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. Wait, no, that's the first. That's what's happening here. The second time around, she's going to be asking for permission. Oh, right. I only barely managed to mumble out a reply before Kaguya leaves out of the same window she entered through. After that, glug glug glug. My throat was as dry as the desert, so I came down to the kitchen to guzzle some water. Yeah, I mean, your throat's gonna go dry after experiencing something like that. Yeah, my throat did go dry after experiencing something like that. I could still feel the sensations all over. So many things are burnt right into my mind. Nothing. Oh! Sorry, did I wake you up? I was in such a hurry to get some water in me that I wasn't really paying attention to how heavy my footsteps were.
どちらかというと気づいただね。リクの気配が移動したことに。
So, just be glad that Noah can't sense his presence moving as specifically, as minutely, as his presence moving on his bed. Let's go with that.
こんな時間にキッチンに降りてくるのはあまりなかったし、どうしたのかと思って。
From the way she's acting, it would seem she truly has no idea that Kaguya was here until a few moments ago. That fox mask really is incredible. If it can deceive even angels.
一人でブツブツ言っていたし、なんだか顔も赤いし。
Huh? I instinctively reach up to touch my face. I could feel the heat radiating from my cheeks, so I know I was pretty damn red. I must be pretty damn red. Yeah, that checks out. What with how dirty my with how dry my throat was and all.
体調不良ではないよね。
Oh, no, not at all. It's, well, I was, you know, watching some more extreme things to see if it was working again.
あれが復活してないか?
So his way to prevent Noah from knowing that Kaguya was in his room is to embarrass her.
つまりドスケベ動画か何かを見て興奮状態なんだね。
I was gonna say maybe it's not a good idea for him to say it to her, considering Noah's gonna blurt it out, but well, yeah. Now that Noah's fucking yelling and shit, Amani's gonna come down from her room, or Fumika's gonna come down and scold both of them. Just calm down. We humans prefer to be indirect about these things. Take a hint, okay?
わほん、申し訳ない。それでどうだったんだい？その、勃起的なあれは。
Just sticky, you know what, after a word doesn't make it any less direct.
本当だ！僕はさっきから何を言っているんだ！
Anyway, I'm sure you can figure it out from how I'm just casually standing here drinking water.
なるほど。察したよ。復活していたのなら今夜は、いろいろと忙しいだろうしね。
That wasn't much better. You were less direct, but it still felt awkward.
僕にどうしろと?
First of all, quiet down. You don't want to wake Amani or I was going to say Fumika. His mum. In all honesty, she's helped me calm down a fair bit, so I'm somewhat grateful to her. Apparently that wasn't a worry. In any case, we wish each other good night and return to our separate rooms. The moment I look over at my bed, I'm reminded of what just happened in it. Okay, there you go. Okay, I mean, I knew there was a CG a bit of a ways in. I don't know why I didn't pick up on it before, but yeah, this is just confirmation. She was saying stuff about how we'd been doing this, how we'd be doing this again, and how she'd be back. Which means that we're gonna, with all of hey, it's not like I'm looking forward to this or anything. I don't know why you're being tsundere about it. I listen. Any guy would love. Most guys would love having a Kaguya on top of them, teasing them in their bed at night to try to solve their erectile dysfunction. Okay, never mind. Maybe not that part. I appeal to the empty space around me. We men. Why do we men have to be so vain, so determined to overreach? Maybe it's because it's Kaguya. If that's the reason, then I feel so stupid and childish, horribly embarrassed by myself. But at the same time, I think it's probably the reason. That's probably the reason. Kaguya is overflowing with elegance, overwhelmingly beautiful, and has a body to die for. She's the kind of girl that, by all rights, I never would have had a chance to speak to, let alone. I think all the contact I've had with her is just driving the point further home. And we're going to, again. I don't end up getting much sleep that night. And when I do, it's already the early hours of the morning, and I just end up dreaming about Kaguya anyway. In what probably would have been a wet dream if my body currently possessed the ability to have one. I'm going to find it hard to look her in the eye for a while. Pun intended.